How would you feel if you went to work and were treated unfairly because of your age, colour of your skin, or your religion? This is considered to be workplace discrimination. Hi, my name is Ben, and this is Ethan.
Hi guys, we're going to be talking to you about discrimination in the workplace. Not just that, we're going to be talking to you about how to stop it and face it.
In this podcast, we're going to be interviewing one cool dude named Luca.
And some questions from an amazing Hapakope.
Here is a story from right here in the city of Christchurch.
When I was in high school in Riccarton, one of the teachers told me that I had a lot of potential to do much better than my peers, saying I was pretty smart for a brown girl.
Yep, that happens in our city. It makes me feel sick.
It really does.
Everyone at work should have the right to be treated fairly and respectfully.
Discrimination is upsetting and a hurtful experience. It can damage your well-being and how you perform at work.
Discrimination is getting really bad in New Zealand.
Yeah, there are lots of different types of discrimination in the modern world, like ableism, sexism, religious discrimination, and even elitism.
There are some jobs in the world that men and women stay away from. Some examples are doctors, teachers, nurses, tradies, and even in some sports.
It's a harsh world out there. Some of the biggest things in discrimination in the workplace can cause mental health problems. It can cause stress, depression, anxiety, frustration, and anger.
Yeah, but discrimination in the workplace doesn't just affect you. It can also affect the business by giving it a bad reputation and making all the other workers stressed and even tired.
Over the years, there have been some amazing people that have tried to stop discrimination. Their names are Martin Luther King, Kate Sheppard, and Nelson Mandela.
All of these people are from different countries, have different skin colour, but nothing has stopped them trying to stop discrimination.
They tried stopping different types of discrimination. Kate Sheppard tried to stop sexism.
Martin Luther King, racism.
And Nelson Mandela, racism and human rights.
That is one of the biggest parts of discrimination next to sexism.
Now we're going to be answering some questions from the hub.
We got a question from Petra. What is the best way to stop discrimination?
Well, it's an interesting question because that can go many ways. There's lots of different ways to stop discrimination, but you need everyone on your side to stop discrimination.
I agree, that is a hard question.
Yeah.
Next question is from Sam T, and his question was, what job was the most common with discrimination? Well, I think one of the jobs that gets discriminated the most is to be a doctor or nurse, because lots of people don't realize they're different jobs.
I also think people think they have to be a male to be a doctor and a female to be a nurse, but that's definitely not true.
Next question.
All of the questions to the next question, and it's from Trent. How can I help to stop discrimination?
Well, if you're being discriminated against, you won't really want to talk to that discriminator. But if you're watching someone get discriminated, you're being a bystander and not doing anything. You want to be an upstander and make the person feel that they can work there.
The last question is from Phoebe. How many people get treated differently in the workplace because of discrimination?
For lots of people, discrimination is getting so bad, people don't even realize that it's happening.
Yeah.
We can't estimate how many people get discriminated, but all we know is that the workplace is becoming hunting grounds for people who don't care about anyone's feelings. We have a recorded interview.
Now we're going to be interviewing Luca.
Hi, Luca. Hi, guys. How do you think we can stop discrimination?
Well, big question. Lots of ways to stop it. But posters, rallying, and parades, that ain't gonna stop nothing. It can't be a couple of groups of people doing it. This could be the whole world. It can't be half of it. If half of the world discriminates, the half of the world isn't gonna stop it. Because there's gonna be more people who's gonna keep on doing it.
Yep. Is discrimination common in your community?
Not really in New Zealand, but big thing still. But like, doesn't come first, I think. Like New Zealand, it's a solid country compared to these other places around the world. It's really good. Yeah, exactly. Like South Africa, they're huge in discrimination. Yeah, like I'm from there personally. Like, I've only been there once, so I can't say everything about it. That's it. Yeah.
Do you have any friends of different race or ethnicity, and do you think any differently about them?
No, not at all. It's like comedians, for example. One's funny, a South African person's funny, an Asian person's funny, Chinese, and a Japanese, or a New Zealand, or Australian. They're all going to be equally as funny, but we all have different opinions. Like one might be funnier, but still, they're both good at the same thing. They're proper comedians.
But do you think comedians can sometimes discriminate? Like, not discriminate, but be mean to different ethnicities while on stage?
Oh, yeah. But like, as the example, everything, like everyone. No matter what race, you can be good at anything. Like a police, it's not a white person's job. It's not a black person's job. It's anyone's job. If that's your dream, go ahead.
I like this. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Lucas. That really helped us in our podcast and clarified some things for us.
Even though discrimination is against the law, there is still discrimination in the workplace today. But we could stop discrimination. We could make the world a better workplace.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in discrimination.
Luckily in New Zealand, discrimination in the workplace has died down because it is now against the law.
Yeah, but it's still really bad.
Yep, you have a point.
This week on the radio, I heard a story about New Zealand paying a blind lady only $2.30 per hour to untangle headphones. This is $15.40 below minimum wage.
But she really likes her work.
Yeah, it would be fun working in New Zealand anyway.
Now we're going to be moving on to the last part of our podcast. We're going to be answering some questions, and you're getting a snippet of my and Ethan's conclusion from our speeches.
Here's Ben's conclusion from his speech.
Even though discrimination is against the law, there is still discrimination in the workplace today. But we could stop discrimination. We can make the world a better workplace. It would stop people being hurt and treated unfairly, and having to defend themselves for what they believe in. As Malala Yousafzai quoted, there should be no discrimination against languages people speak, skin color, or religion. I think all workers have the right to go to work in a place where they feel safe and happy. Now I'm going to leave you with a question. What can you do to stop discrimination in your workplace or in your school? Now here is Ethan's conclusion from his speech.
Discrimination is getting really bad in New Zealand, and we need everyone's help to stop it. Discriminate. Don't get caught up in discrimination, and help anyone who's feeling down because of discrimination. To end, here's a quote that truly inspired me. Action without vision is daydreaming. Is daydreaming. Vision without action is merely passing time. But vision with action can change the world. Nelson Mandela.
Here are some questions from the people in Kokopeka.
You feel... Here's a question from an anonymous. How do I know if I've been discriminated?
You'll feel really sad and you won't want to show your face in public. You just won't feel good about yourself.
The next question is from Joanna, and she said, do girls experience sexism more than boys?
I'd like to say no, but in the real world, it's true. It happens a lot, mostly against girls. So yes, it does. Boys experience sexism lots too, though.
Our last question is from Tamira, and she asks, why people don't give both genders the same rights, the same opportunities in the workplace?
Because there are some people in the world who don't think men and women should have the same rights.
Sadly, we're having to finish up this podcast.
Sad face emoji.
We would like to thank Luca and everyone who gave us questions. in our podcast.
Bye.
Bye.